the middle is the man that's got to lead that charge. And then obviously in the second row with Rob Simmons and James Horwell, they're the two guys that have got to really get through it. And you can see Stephen Moore, the man up front, captain of the ship at scrum and line-out time, accurate at the set piece. He's got to lead them around the park. Horwell and Simmons have got to be very accurate in the line-out to get around the park. McCalman earns his spot at number 8, and he'll be looking for a huge game tonight, Tim.
Yeah, well, the backs, Will Guinea up, 50th Test match at halfback. Quade Cooper has to play a bit more flatter in attack. Matt Tamua moves to number 12. Christian Liliafano out through injury. Israel Folau, Adam Ashley Cooper, and Peter Beetham becomes the 878th Wallaby selected on his debut.
And a bit of experience on the bench now, especially the forwards for Enga Robinson, Kepu and Tamati. Just 15 caps between the 3 back reserves. Well, the All Blacks, they beat the Springboks in an epic test match a fortnight ago in Johannesburg, wrapping up the Rugby Championship yet again. They're 9 from 9 in 2013, and a big roar goes up for New Zealand. They've wrapped up the Bledisloe again in 2013, winning back-to-back in Sydney and Wellington. Now they aim to make it a clean sweep in their final test on home soil for the year. Unbeaten in 2013, they've won the 9 tests by 10 points or more. They remain the top-ranked nation. They've lost just one of their last 30 tests. They're going for 16 in a row against the Wallabies in New Zealand. That's their biggest winning streak over a visiting team. 4 changes to the side that started in Johannesburg a fortnight ago. And a lot of experience, Brendan Kennan in that front row. Woodcock, Mialamu, Faumuina.
Mialamu, 108 tests tonight. That is experience coming in bucket loads. Enormous strength up front. Thrush and Whitelock at 25 years of age is approaching 50th, his 50th cap, a huge effort. And Kieran Reid, Mr. Consistency, the best number 8 in the world at the moment.
Aaron Smith, one of the best players the All Blacks have had this year. He's been in brilliant form. So is Aaron Cruden. His kicking game will be outstanding. In Ma'a, Ben Smith moves from the wing. They go to outside centre. Israel Dag at fullback. Charles Piutau on the right wing, and the speedster, and Julian Savea on the other wing as well.
And it's Dane Coles getting the reserve hooker spot ahead of Andrew Hall. And Luatua, Kerbalo, Odin Barrett, 3 tries already in 2013 as a replacement. Fly half Tom Taylor also there as well. So we're set for Bledisloe 3 and the national anthems. And performing the Australian anthem is Kylie Price.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty.
Plenty of emotion for Peter Beetham on debut. New Zealanders are claiming him. He was born in New Zealand, but he moved to Australia as a 1-year-old from the St Joseph's College nursery. Now the New Zealand anthem, Rebecca Nelson. The All Blacks, they have won 17 of the past 19 against Australia. They lost in 2010 in Hong Kong, 2011 in Brisbane. For the Wallabies, it's the first of 6 tests over the next 6 weeks. A win will reclaim the #3 spot on the world rankings before they head off on the Grand Slam tour.
The All Blacks now getting ready for the haka. Kamadi or Kopa Apanga. Ma'a Nonu in the front. Kieran Reid, the captain, as well.
No Dan Carter, no Richie McCaw.
Ma'a Nonu and Israel Dag together. The Wallabies standing 15 metres away in their tracksuits. Now will take their tracksuits off very slowly. Liam Messon leading the haka.
Oh, look at the passion. They say there is nothing like a dead rubber when you're taking on the old enemy from across the Tasman. They've played 172 times. New Zealand 119 wins. Australia 47. 6 draws over the years. On New Zealand soil, it's the All Blacks 58, the Wallabies 17 and 1 draw. The referee is from South Africa. Craig Joubert, 45th Test match. He controlled the 2011 Rugby World Cup final. He's assisted by Jaco Piper and Stuart Berry. Viniwan Mo is our television match official. In Dunedin, New Zealand have won 12. Australia just the 1, and that was the last time they played in this fair city in the south of New Zealand. That was in 2001. 23-15 to the Wallabies on that occasion. Can they go back-to-back in Dunedin?
Ma'a Nonu, such a wonderful player. He won't have Conrad Smith outside of him. You have that man there, Ben Smith. 10 tries in 9 Test matches, moves from the wing to outside centre.
There is Israel Folau, and he is 10th Test, but already 7 tries in international rugby. He leads in tries, runs, run meters, tackle busts, line breaks and offloads for the Wallabies. Hat-trick against the Pumas in Rosario, a double against the Lions in Brisbane. He's a key player. Can they get him into the game? Israel Folau. Terrific surface.
Well, daylight saving in New Zealand, Clarkie, and 7:30 local time and still an hour of sunlight left.
The Wallabies in no hurry to get things underway, just letting things settle down after the haka. Remember, the New Zealanders, they have won their last 29 Test matches on New Zealand soil, 64 of the past 67. The record is 30 straight at home, 2003 to 2008. Can they chalk up another one and equal that magnificent record? So it will be Matt Tamua getting us underway. Bledisloe 3. Knock on by the All Blacks. Usually so good under the high ball and from the kickoff. Gania. Now it goes out to Folau. He gets through one. Israel Folau up over the 22. Perfect position to strike. Cooper wants to go wide. Tamua. Now he gives it to Hooper, and Hooper is taken about 10 metres out. Genia, oh, and just a slight fumble there. Mistake.
Gee, what a start for the Wallabies. The kickoff was perfect. Matt Tamua put it straight up in front. Israel Folau came through. Sam Cane putting it down. Folau, a good little break, had numbers inside. Ben Mowen went to pop it up to Will Genia. What's the atmosphere like, Brendan Cannon, on the sideline?
Well, the acoustics down here with both anthems and the haka being just undertaken, absolutely sensational. But that intent from the Wallabies is superb at the start there. An unorthodox kickoff and an all-out attacking assault. This is going to be a high-paced game, guys. Buckle up, get your seatbelts on.
Okay.
Craig Joubert wanting a better scrum. So we'll have a reset here. Aaron Smith on his home ground, plays for the Highlanders in Super Rugby, the scrum half.
Bind. Set. Yes, nine.
It's a win to the Wallabies, but the ball was out and they weren't able to pick it up, and now the penalty goes against the All Blacks.
Well, Ben McCalman, Michael Hooper, the other two players, when the ball came out, were very quick to their feet to get onto Kieran Reid.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for the All Blacks. It just Kevin Mialami, the hooker, just slightly missed the strike, didn't get a clean one on it, and it just came out just in under Sam Cane, the number 7 there for the All Blacks. And as the scrum spewed, you can see it there. The Wallabies, Michael Hooper in on top of the ball. So hard to move him when he's in that position. There's a lot of experience there. Mialami, Woodcock, over 220 tests between the two of those players alone.
He seemed to hook really early, didn't he, Cano?
Well, it's always hard. The scrum was moving away from where the ball was being put in, so he didn't have strength in his setup or his position, and he just sort of scraped the ball rather than getting a clean strike on it. But Quade Cooper with a chance to put the Wallabies with the perfect start.
No booing that I've noticed so far. Maybe it's about to happen.
You might be the cheerleader, Clark. It's just started.
Quade Cooper, probably going to be number 1 still. Will they ever get over it? Quade Cooper, it's not a bad strike. It's a beauty. It's down the middle. And so it is, the Wallabies leading the All Blacks by 3 points to 0.
Yeah, what a way to calm your nerves, Quade Cooper. Saw him at the hotel this morning, looked very relaxed, as did a lot of the Wallabies. There's the Wallaby coaching staff. Jim Mackay there as well. Andrew Blades, former Wallaby. Aaron Cruden to restart.
Gives it plenty of hang time, and this time it's the Wallabies that knock it on, but it's there for Nonu.
Good work, Jeremy Thrush, from the kickoff.
Cruden and Whitelock just offloading it to Woodcock. Smith, Cruden stepping, can't find a way through, 10-metre mark. They work it to the right, and Dagg gives it to Reid. Quick hands now. That's good work over on the far side.
Sevilla, so strong.
And now Kane, the replacement for Richie McCaw. So here come the All Blacks. Nonu, Sevilla, they leave it behind. Messam is there to pick it up, gives it to Nonu. Out now to Ben Smith with 13 on his back, but he was standing on the left wing.
Jiku and Drani did well to close that down. It was 4 on 3.
And Smith is taken, but he's over the advantage line. Now it comes out and Nonu leaves it behind. Dives on, it went backwards. Now it's been towed through somehow, and Quade Cooper gets a chance to pick it up, puts it on the toe, and it's a sprint here. Dagger's getting back. He'll be the first one there. It sits up nicely for him. Gets away from Adam Ashley Cooper and just drills it into touch. So a net gain from a territory point of view for Australia.
Yeah, great pressure at the breakdown there from the Wallabies. You can see the All Blacks just trying to get some composure after that fractured possession that they just had. And Quade Cooper with the toe through from Stephen Moore from the ruck. Taking them out of the comfort zone, the Wallabies are, the All Blacks, in this opening 5 minutes of the game.
Simmons down to Genia. Quade Cooper. Adam Ashley Cooper heading it up, taken by Cruden. Pick and go, the captain, Horwell. Genia. Now Folau trying to get involved. Lays it back, and a big shove coming, but Moore was there, and he gives it to Alexander. He has to get back to his feet. Just holds on enough to get the support there, and now Hooper tries to jump over the top of the ruck, lays it back. Genia, it's a willing contest at the breakdown. There was a man, I thought he was going to pick him for being offside, but first infringement was knocked on though by Australia.
Julian Sevilla came through the breakdown. Steve Hansen, All Black coach, looking on from the coach's box. Well, Genia very frustrated there.
Well, frustrated. It was a great attacking opportunity. You can see the ball, just Michael Hooper picks it up, jumps over the ruck, and there Wilgeni tries to come through, but as I said, Surveyor works his way through, just driving back, not allowing Wilgeni a clean grasp of the football there. But a wonderful start, a lot of energy from the Wallabies. They've got to maintain this momentum and this urgency because it's been everything that they haven't had in previous tests against the Wallabies, against the All Blacks.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Yes, on.
Free kick against the Wallabies, and Reid takes it quickly. Nonu. Aaron Smith to Cruden, trying to chip over the top. Beetham coming back, and the man on debut picks it up. He pops it back now to Folau. They shut him down. Genia. Now Simmons, dummies, up towards the halfway. Genia. Oh, Beetham left it behind. Penalty.
Player in front, offside there, yes.
Lost forward, then the player picking the ball up was in an offside position right in front of you, Brendan Cannon.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the Wallabies. I mean, Peter Beetham did exceptionally well for his first real touch in Test match football. He worked back onto the football, managed to get a good pass away from Israel Folau and support. But just then his second touch there, just losing control. And a Wallaby player in an offside position caught the football, and that's where the penalties come from. You see Kieran Reid marshalling his boys just to keep the defensive line. That hand signal there is just get your defensive line straight, keep talking to each other.
Aaron Cruden, 50 metres out, just to the right-hand side of the post. 145 Test points, 23 of those in Test matches against the Wallabies. His right knee heavily strapped.
20 points against Australia in Bledisloe, 1 in Sydney. Still no Dan Carter, so Cruden starting again in the black jersey, his 22nd Test. He's a long way out, and it's a shocker. So Craig Cooper will send it into touch. So it's still Australia 3. All Blacks 0.
Gee, he didn't get any on that at all, Aaron Cruden. Worst kick-off seen from him in Test match football.
He stood on the spot in disgust after it left the boot, knowing it was an absolute shocker.
Down to Woodcock and Aaron Smith. And they get away to Messam. 10-metre mark. Pick and go here from Sam Cane. And Reid takes it into contact.
Dag, left-hand side, space.
And Israel Dag got it away to Sevilla, and he's going to score in the corner. Brilliant stuff, well read by Israel Dag.
Unbelievable vision from Israel Dag. You can see him coming from the right-hand side of the breakdown, and he was screaming at halfback Aaron Smith. You could see the short numbers, and Stephen Moore was left on the right-hand side to try and defend him. And Israel Dag, jet shoes, and picked up Julian Sevilla. Look at him come, Nonu on the inside as well. Stephen Moore just struggling to get across. Adam Ashley Cooper couldn't do much about it, and Julian Sevilla crosses for the first try in the Test match.
Yeah, outstanding work, Dag. You could see him coming from a mile away. And poor old Stephen Moore, any hooker on an outside back, it's always going to be a tough challenge. And Sevilla keeping touch with the white chalk on the sideline there, getting around the corner. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It was the pick and drive from the All Blacks that really set it up. Punch it through the Wallaby defensive line. Their energy and their thrust getting through and penetrating was just absolutely huge. And that allowed Dag the space to work around.
His 16th try, Julian Sevilla, his 4th for this season. Up until this evening, he had never scored against the Wallabies, so he can tick that box. Only his 18th Test, so 16 tries in 18 Test matches.
Aaron Cruden, 4 metres in from touch to add the extras.
It's a better strike, and he sends it down the middle. Well, that's what they can do, seemingly on the back foot, and then they strike.
He's such a wonderful reader of the game, Israel Dag. He just sat in the pocket, and you could see him coming a long way from the right-hand side, because he knew there was slow forward defenders for the Wallabies. Stephen Moore, Adam Ashley Cooper couldn't react quick enough. 2-on-1. Really important try. for the All Blacks in this Test match.
New Zealand leads 7 points to 3. The Wallabies go long this time, down to Aaron Smith, and he puts it into touch. It'll be a Wallaby throw into the line out about 12 or 13 metres inside New Zealand territory.
Yeah, it'll be a big test for the Wallabies here, just of their character in the opening stages. They've had so much momentum, but that All Black try will really test their character.
Stephen Moore goes to the middle to Moen, and down it goes to Genia Cooper. Flat pass out to Israel Folau. Oh, the tackle had to be made by Pietau. Now backing up it is Quade Cooper. He hands it off to Beetham up to the 22. Genia. Oh, the captain had a quick look and he coughed it up. And you just cannot do that in that sort of position against the All Blacks. You've got to make the most of your opportunities.
What a tackle from Pietau. Had to make it. Had to make the tackle on Israel Folau, otherwise it was try time. He came across in defence. There was a wide pass from Quade Cooper. There was 4 players outside of him he had to choose from. Went right across. Kuandrani had to make that tackle. Brilliant.
Yeah, and it's just these little things that are letting the Wallabies down from building any significant pressure in any game of Test match that they're playing at the moment. Argentina, they minimised their mistakes, and you could see the end result. That there from James Hall, the skipper, really disappointing as he was shaking his head walking back, knowing that was an opportunity lost.
All Blacks have scored the first try in 8 of their 10 Test matches in 2013. 7 of them have been by their wingers.
Ben Smith, probably nearly all of those, Clarkie.
Well, here's a free kick to the Wallabies now. They take it quickly. Stephen Moore into Messam.
Good option from Woolgenia, not opting for the scrum. Tap and go.
Slipper fell awkwardly. Quade Cooper. Tamur showing it on the inside, but he's monstered there by Smith and also his centre partner Nonu. Genia to Stephen Moore.
A little bit flat-footed at the moment, the forward runners. Now McCalvin gets on the front foot and gets across the advantage line.
Genia. Cooper. Tamur. Kurandrani trying to get rid of his opposite number, Ben Smith. Slipper. Went in high.
Falmawina got in. All 130 kg of him.
And they turn it over. And there's the kick downfield. And so the chase is on. Pietau running back. And Quade Cooper gets there first of all. Got away from one. And he needs support now. Stephen Moore starting again from inside his own 22. Penalty on the All Blacks on that occasion. Just overcooking things, getting their timing wrong as Hugh McKenzie looks on.
Good patience from the Wallabies there, from Woolgenia playing his 50th Test match. As Quade Cooper took his time, he thought he'd made the wrong decision, but then they just, Woolgenia just picked some forward runners in Stephen Moore.
Timmers, Tamur puts his penalty kick into touch. The All Blacks are just out-muscling the Wallabies in contact at the moment. The Wallabies there, James Slipper, a little bit too high. But even with the other carries in general play, you can see him. You've got to stay low to the ground. The ground is your friend. Anytime you carry the ball gets caught up. And then they work it around. Kieran Reid rips it off him, and it pops out. Ball carrying from the Wallabies at the moment, getting out-muscled big time.
Wallabies shorter line out, 5-man line out. Coming up, Quade Cooper did really well. Pietau covered him.
One by Moen, down to Genia. Now it's Michael Hooper. Hamlin and Smith making the tackle. Moen. Stephen Moore. Good metres by the hooker. McCalman hands it off. Alexander. Folau. Back on the inside. Anabashi Cooper hit pretty hard by Thrush. Genia and Moen hands it off to Simmons. Ball movement is pretty good from the Wallabies. Advantage is being played here. And Stephen Moore.
He's had some carries, hasn't he, Stephen Moore?
Genia. Quade Cooper will go for the 3 points, knowing he's got advantage. And he sends it down the middle again, so it is 3 points from the drop kick.
Good result from the Wallabies. Every time they venture into the All Blacks half, if not their 22, they've got to come away with some reward. You could see there was greater energy, greater vigour in the way they were carrying the football. And I agree, Stephen Moore, he has had an outstanding opening 15 minutes of this test.
Receiving some treatment back in the 22, though.
Quade Cooper, right between the posts. He had the advantage as well. Just waiting for Stephen Moore to come back onside.
They'll go to the left side of the field again. And Adam Ashley Cooper can't control it.
Well, that's offside from Kurandrani.
Penalty.
Yeah.
Knocked on, and that's twice now in the match so far that they've given away a penalty. The man in an offside position picking the ball up.
Well, they're coach killers, aren't they? You get that reward, you just reduce the deficit by to make it just 1 point. Poor old Stephen Moore doesn't look too good. He'll try and battle on. He's a warrior. You can just see here, Kurandrani in an offside position. Adam Ashley Cooper goes up for the ball. It comes off his chest. And Kurandrani in offside position gives the penalty to the All Blacks, which relieves the pressure that they're under.
The Wallabies, when they played in Wellington, they gave away 16 penalties, and they made 23 turnovers, lost 5 lineouts on their own throw. You can't do that against the #1 team in the world, but it's going to be prudent to try and extend the lead again. It's 7-6 at the moment. Kick to come. 14 metres inside Australian territory, is about 6 or 7 metres in from touch.
And they're picking out
look at the
Adam Ashley Cooper on that side. Jeremy Thrush a couple of times now, if restarts has come through, an unsettled receiving player.
Taking plenty of time. It's a good strike again. Flags are up.
He did not look at the ball, Aaron Cruden. He kept his head down for about 3 seconds after he kicked that ball. Straight through the middle. 45 metres out on angle.
10 points to 6. All Blacks over the Wallabies. Bledisloe 3. Again, they look to go long.
That's well placed from Matt Tamua. Taken by Whitelock.
Now they should look to clear, and it's Cruden.
Tim, interesting to note the tactics of the Wallabies. Other than that first kick-off of the game, they've gone traditional kick-offs into the corner, hoping obviously to get the line-out return with the kick-out or clearance kick from the All Blacks.
It's worked well so far. You can see the couple of line-outs the Wallabies have had have been in this position.
They go to the front. There's the flat pass, and now the inside ball from Cooper to Ashley Cooper. Genia. Moen. Here's Simmons. A lot of the match has been played inside the New Zealand half. They don't concede too many tries, though, the All Blacks.
Numbers wide if Quade Cooper can get it there.
There's Tamua running to the line, now stepping. Oh, he looked on the inside, but he couldn't get it away. Kane was over the top of him, and that's great work by the All Blacks. Kane snaffling it. And now the kick ahead. Piatau is sprinting. Beetham has to get back about 5 metres out from his own line. He fires it across now to Ashley Cooper. And there was wonderful pressure from Cruden. And so that's a net gain for the All Blacks this time.
It's a huge net gain, and Ewan McKenzie quite concerned looking on. You can see the Wallabies here hard on attack. Matt Tamua just not being able to get the ball back, get a good placement. Sam Cane over the top. Wonderful drive from the All Blacks, and this clearance kick from Nonu puts the Wallabies on the back foot. So demoralising when you're hard on attack, losing possession, and then turning around and running 60-70 metres backwards.
Nonu still to sign for a Super Rugby franchise in 2014. Talk now as he might go to the Blues, where he's been before. Penalty. 6 and 7, collapsing them all. Aaron Smith thinking about a quick tap, but it's all about keeping the scoreboard ticking over, and Aaron Cruden, this is much easier for him. Just about on the 22, 15 metres in. Should be a gift, 3 points for a test match kicker.
Well, Clark, it's the turnovers that are hurting the Wallabies at the moment. They're on attack, they're dropping a little bit of ball. A couple of times been turned over, Sam Cane on that occasion. And just gifting the All Blacks territory at the moment.
Not just gifting them territory, but then ill disciplines letting them, obviously, as Clarkey just said, ticking the scoreboard over, just keeps building momentum, just building a lead, and you can just see the class of the All Blacks. Anytime the Wallabies give them half a sniff or an opportunity, the man to watch here is Michael Hooper. He's initially off the actual maul, and then he drives in, and he's the one that takes Sam Cane down at the front, and he's the one that causes the penalty against the Wallabies for collapsing the driving maul.
Pack stand at the end of Forsyth Bar Stadium, and it's 3 points again for Cruden and the All Blacks, 13 points to 6. Points pretty much just about every time they get into the Australian 22.
Well, so far territory, the All Blacks have only had 27% territory into the Wallabies half, and yet they're getting points every time they get there.
This time a shorter line out, and Israel Folau takes it AFL style. Pops it out now to Moore. He looks to be okay after the knock a few minutes ago. Genia, McKelman got rid of Woodcock, but Faumuina came over to complete the tackle, and now a penalty. Lazy runner, and Will Genia milking that one. He knew the man was in an offside position. He threw it straight into his midriff.
Straight into Tony Woodcock he did, Will Genia. They were getting on a good roll to the Wallabies. Their restarts, as I mentioned before, have been perfect. Matt Tamua taking the restarts. That occasion, Israel Folau leaping high above. Brilliant from Israel Folau. Above Kieran Reid and also Sam Cane.
Did you have that sort of vertical lift in your day?
We just kept kicking long, Clarkey. There was no chance of that.
But just very crafty there from Wilkin. He knew that Tony Woodcock was in that offside position, passing it into him, leaving Craig Joubert no other choice than to award a penalty to the Wallabies. Really important that Quaid gets this kick and reduces the margin, because the Wallabies have got to stay in touch.
The Wallabies have been restricted to 17 points or less in their last 9 matches against New Zealand in New Zealand. Points are hard to come by on this side of the Tasman. They've been restricted to 1 try or less in 8 of the past 9 against New Zealand. Good to see some gold in the crowd, and Quade Cooper full of concentration. 1 penalty goal, 1 drop goal so far from the Queensland Reds playmaker. 10 metres in from touch. Not a bad strike. It's there again. 13 points to 9.
Geez, hitting them sweetly. Ewan McKenzie, the coach, down, sitting with the reserves on the sideline. 13 points to 9. Ewan McKenzie likes to watch it close to the ground.
He wasn't overawed coming back to this stadium, because he was coach of the Reds earlier this year when they won against the Highlanders. Was that a knock-on? Yes, it was. So another mistake by the Wallabies from the kickoff.
Yeah, there was a little gap there that Aaron Cruden saw. Ben McKelman was just back a few more metres, and Cruden was pinpoint with that restart.
Yeah, it's a tough one on Ben McKelman. A really good competitive grab in the air there, but just not able to control the ball after he'd cleared the contact. But they're just the little things that amount up. They accumulate to really putting so much pressure onto the Wallabies. You see Aaron Cruden just into that little hole in between the Wallaby lineup and the front there. And McKelman not able to secure it. All Blacks on attack with an attacking scrum on the Wallabies 10 metres line.
Quade Cooper defending in the front line, fly half.
Well, the All Blacks have been able to reply immediately after the Wallabies have put some points on the board. It's a big scrum from the Wallabies, and they earn the penalty.
It's an outstanding scrum from the Wallabies there. You can see the All Blacks just not working hard enough as a unit, and the Wallabies building pressure, building pressure. Kevin Mialami very slow on the strike. The ball sat in under the second row as the lock's feet. You can see the Wallabies just driving through, disintegrating the All Black scrum. That's a really encouraging sign for the Wallabies.
Yeah, they seem to sit back, the All Blacks. They had a second shove and then stopped, and Ben Alexander, Stephen Moore and James Slipper kept going. You can see there's a second shove. Mialamu struggled to strike. There's the shove.
You see they work through. They split Kevin Mialami from Woodcock. Woodcock's there just on his own with Reid and Sam Cane. Just great work isolating the hooker and the tight head.
Stephen Moore, tap down and brilliant hands from Genia. Now Cooper, flat pass to Beetham. Taken in midfield. Quick recycle. Cooper, Folau stepping. Nonu made the tackle after he was slowed by Ben Smith. Now it's Ben Alexander.
Numbers to the left. Genia needs quick ball and gets it.
And it is to Mua. Out the back is Kurandrani. Good defence, Cruden. Little man on big man. Cooper. Now McCalman. Charging in pretty high.
Good tackle, Sam Cane.
And the All Blacks come through. The counter ruck was good. They won the collision. The battle of the breakdown again, the All Blacks. And now it sits up for Israel Folau on the 10-metre mark. Nowhere to go. All Blacks pile in. The Wallabies going off their feet. This is still a problem area for the Wallabies. The breakdown, the collision. Now it's Messam, got a good ball away. Thrush! The big lock. And his first start. Now they go out to the right, and Israel Day puts on some footwork, and he's got Kieran Reid, and Reid will be pulled down just.
McCalman and Quade Cooper.
Trying to get it into the corner, but they're into touch. Trying to sneak around the side. It was Aaron Smith, but the Wallabies were on guard on the short side. They put him into touch, but I tell you what, they are so dangerous when Day comes into that back line.
He's just superb, but it goes all the way back. Ben McCalman, a good carry, and then Sam Cane, turnover again. Quade Cooper, two important tackles. One on Kieran Reid, one on Aaron Smith.
One by Moanor, and it's been put down. Knocked back, and Cooper just gets it away. Over the head of Peartown, needs a good bounce and gets it. A bit of a lucky escape there. Hard in the mouth stuff, Brendan.
Yeah, lucky escape. Worrying signs for the Wallabies. Just too many areas are creeping into their game, and you can see how hot the All Blacks are on that counter-attack. Absolutely superb, and making every mistake that the Wallabies are bringing to this game in this first half pay the ultimate price.
It's the defence, Cano. The defence of the All Blacks in their line. They're not over-committing to the breakdown. They're making sure they've got numbers across the field, because the Wallabies are getting quick ball.
Well, their drive at the breakdown in a counter-up perspective is absolutely sensational.
Mialamu finds Whitelock. Pops it out to Smith. Cruden, he's going to kick across now for Julian Sabir unmarked. Takes it brilliantly. He has Day unmarked on the inside. Day gets away from Folau, gets away from Beetham, pops it up to Sam Cane, and it is the mighty All Blacks in for another 5-pointer. Brilliant.
Unbelievable. Aaron Cruden, the kick across field to Sevilla was perfect. And Sevilla just did enough to stay on his feet. Oh, unbelievable. Israel Dag, he nearly could have got there himself and picked up Sam Cane from the Chiefs. Watch the space. Adam Ashley Cooper is infield, and the All Blacks have read that. They've watched the videos. And you see Israel Dag was just superb. Stayed on his feet. Sam Cane in support. Just a brilliant try from a world champion team.
Outstanding. And that pass from Surveyor back inside to Dag was superb. And you really did think Dag was going to get there himself. But that man, Sam Cane, in for Richie McCaw, who was a late withdrawal, has been superb. The All Black coaching staff applauding what was just sublime football from the All Blacks in that in this opening half. Outstanding.
Fourth try this season for Cane. His sixth overall in a very short Test career so far. And so there's the extra 2 from Cruden, and they strike when the iron is hot. 20 points to 9. Breathing space aplenty for the All Blacks.
You do that at training. You do those kicks across field all the time at training, because they would have seen Adam Ashley Cooper and the Wallabies played compressed defensive pattern with their open side winger, and Sevilla was on the touchline, and Israel Day came inside Israel Folau. Brilliant work from the All Blacks.
2 tries to none, and now all of a sudden big pressure on the Wallabies as Whitelock takes it and Beetham holds on. This time the box kick, which has been touched, and who wants it? Did Kane get up in the air and take it? No, penalty. Well, there's 3 points on offer here. You've got to keep the scoreboard ticking over, you'd think, the Wallabies.
Michael Hooper did well there against his opposite number, Sam Kane.
They will have a shot. A lot of talk about the loss of Richie McCaw. The Wallabies haven't won the Bledisloe Cup since McCaw and Carter became regulars in the All Blacks in 2003. But with Sam Kane there, my goodness, he's a star of the future.
So well to stay on his feet to pick up Israel Day, because Israel Folau was coming across in defence and he had to check himself. He couldn't pick up Israel Day, and Sam Kane, he's had a superb season for the Chiefs. Well, 8 minutes to go before half-time. Quade Cooper can keep the Wallabies in touch.
Cooper almost in front. No problem. So 20 points to 12. All 12 points coming from the boot of Quade Cooper.
I was looking at the front page of the Otago Daily Times, Clarkie, yesterday. A photo of the Bledisloe Cup saying to the Wallabies, you can look, but don't touch. It's been like that.
It's been like that since 2003. But still plenty of time to go in Dunedin. Oh, tap back brilliantly. And this time, accidental offside.
Yeah, Tony Woodcock just couldn't control possession, and he bumped it into Charlie Fuamoma, his other front row partner. So the Wallabies get a little reprieve there. Just under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Can they reduce this 8-point deficit and get some momentum back in their game? Because they have been struggling in the last 10 minutes. It's been all Blacks.
The handling errors 6-1. Look at the breakdown turnovers, 4-0 to the All Blacks.
Crouch.
Flat back line for the Wallabies.
Bind. Set.
Israel Folau lurking.
Gilliard puts it in. Big shove coming from the All Blacks, and the penalty goes against the Wallabies this time. The ball came out. Brendan, can you explain that?
Well, the ball was out at the back of the scrum, but before it actually, well, it was in the process of coming out, Clarkie, and as it was, the Wallaby front row popped up under the pressure that the All Blacks had put on. They were not happy with that previous scrum that they had, the All Blacks, where they lost possession. The Wallabies drove through them. Look at Tony Woodcock here, really pull James Slipper into him. James Slipper gets side on, and then he himself almost dissects his own scrum under the pressure the All Blacks have put him under. Great reaction there, or response from the All Blacks, and that's how you want your sides to go. When you get a poor scrum, it's how you react at the next one. That's the response that Steve Hansen would have wanted from the All Blacks. Rob Simmons, a bit of pressure on his ankle there, getting some treatment, but just inconsistency, guys. The Wallabies, they're frustrating you, frustrating all of us at the moment, because they show so much promise, but they can't sustain it.
So Cruden looking for a reply immediately after the penalty from Cooper, and this one is on the way, and it's over again. 23 points to 12. All Blacks over the Wallabies.
5 minutes left in the first half, and once again the Wallabies, Matt Tamua will take the restart. He's had 2 short and 3 to the right. Another lovely kick.
Down to Whitelock, taken by Beetham, but he got the pass away to Messam on the 22. Box kick. Keeping it in the field of play. Israel Folau as Sevilla comes to him, and Folau popped it out and went forward. And now Nonu. Advantage is over and Reed goes to ground. Smith to Ben Smith. Look to offload, no support. Aaron Smith, the captain, Reed. Sabia, Moore makes the tackle. Smith. Kane. Nialamu pops one up now. Woodcock and Reed, the forwards. Guinea made the tackle. Now it's Smith. And there's a chance out wide. They've got numbers. Cruden. Dag comes into the line. 3 on 2. Running out of room. Messam throws a dummy. And there is Cruden. The Chiefs connection. Well, they go to the left and then they just work the numbers on the other side, on the right. What a try.
That's the world champion All Blacks. Israel Folau took the box kick a couple of minutes ago from Aaron Smith and had the right idea, but the ball just floated forward. And once again, another turnover. But the interchange of passing between the All Blacks forwards have been brilliant. Nialamu, Woodcock, Whitelock, Messam. And then Aaron Smith knew there was some space out wide. Nonu got some width on it. Cruden. Israel Dag did really well. Quade Cooper had a couple to cover. It's just superb work from the All Blacks, and Cruden goes across.
Yeah, outstanding, using the full width of the field. The Wallabies had invested so many numbers in that previous play from the forwards. They were short here and messed them through, and you thought he could have gone outside, but he's come back inside to Cruden. And there are a number of other All Blacks there to give the ball to. Wonderful, wonderful display of rugby here from the All Blacks with that try. And James Horwell really starting to look at his boys to say, how do we stop this All Black tide that's really starting to swamp us here?
Cruden, there's another 2.
It's such a hard team to defend against, but sometimes Cano in the back line, you can see the Wallabies backtracking because they didn't have the numbers. Sometimes you've got to move up quickly and try and shut it down, because if you let the All Blacks play their game and play with some width, it's such a hard team to play against. Move up, shut them down.
Well, the key there was that interplay between the All Black forwards. It really got in behind the Wallaby defensive line, and that allowed that open back line attack.
30 points to 12. 20 points to Aaron Cruden, equals his biggest test haul. He scored 20 points in Bledisloe, 1 in Sydney. So Dan Carter for so long was the nemesis of all teams playing the All Blacks, but now they've got Cruden who can just step up. They've got Kane who can step up when Richie McCaw's not there. Adam Ashley Cooper trying to step through. Stephen Moore. They need to score before half-time, the Wallabies. They go to the short side, and it's Alexander running off the pass from Genia. Now it's McKelman, just not getting a head of steam up before he takes the ball into contact. Tamua showing and going. Tamua taken by Israel Dag. Now it's Quade Cooper. He pops one over the top to Adam Ashley Cooper, and the Wallabies hit back.
Good play from the Wallabies straight through the middle. The play wasn't on wide. The All Blacks had a lot of numbers defensively out wide, and Will Genia chose the right option to go left, and Quade Cooper perfectly weighted pass. Matt Tamua, brilliant. Through the middle, couldn't link up with Israel Folau, who was trying to trail through and behind. Quade Cooper read the play brilliantly. Adam Ashley Cooper on the touchline try, and the Wallabies just stay in touch.
Yeah, keeping the All Blacks alive in the sense that the Wallabies aren't going to go away. Wonderful pass there from Quade Cooper, but great lead-up play from Matt Tamua. Went direct. If in doubt, just go forward, son. That's where he went. Found the hole, punched it through. The Wallabies there in numbers, and that's a great way for the Wallabies, or an encouraging way for them to finish what has been quite a disappointing first half.
Well, it's about controlling the ball, Cano. They've had plenty of ball in the All Blacks half, but turned it over 4 times, and it's really cost them. On that occasion, Will Genia making sure he got quick ball, and Quade Cooper choosing the right way to go.
So 25 test tries now for Adam Ashley Cooper. He's been a mainstay in this back line for quite a few years now. 87th test match for the Wallabies, 29 years of age. And Quade Cooper.
Well, this will get the Wallabies within 11 points on half-time.
Wade Cooper, will it hold its line? Yes, it will. He's got it on a string. So as the half-time siren sounds at Forsyth Bar Stadium in Dunedin, Wallabies scoring in the nick of time to keep their hopes alive. Half-time, it is New Zealand 30, Australia 19.
Dunedin, the All Blacks lead at 30 points to 19. It started pretty well for the Wallabies and then got a bit ugly.
Well, that was the start with Israel Folau, but soon after, look how quick that is. Within 10 minutes, Savia outflanks them.
Yeah, and Wallabies got a little bit of advantage there, and Wade Cooper decides to go for the drop goal. And they would have got a penalty anyway, right in front of the post. And Quade's playing really good footy, and here the All Blacks, this is so hard to stop. I mean, that is just perfectly executed. The Wallabies' defence narrow. They get around, Sevilla gets around Adam Ashley Cooper, and Israel Dag, my God, what about his step? and Sam Cane.
That's superb analysis by the All Blacks to realise that kick was on. Then you've got to have the technique to do it. Then another super try. They stretch the Wallabies to the left. Then they go wide right. Simply ran out of numbers and the support was there. Both Ben Smith and Aaron Cruden. Cruden gets the chockies.
Yeah, poor tackling from the Wallabies forwards rather than the other side of the field. And Tamua, he makes a great break. Looks for Israel Folau, but Will Genia gets a great little ball over to Quade Cooper, who floats one over to Adam Ashley Cooper running with the ball.
Speed, that's what it's about at the breakdown. Speed of recycling, that's what got that try.
Yeah, the Wallabies, you know, possession in their favour, but they're just turning over too much ball. Missed tackles, 10 by the All Blacks. The issue is their tackles. Wallabies have only made 26 tackles. That's because the All Blacks are scoring these long-distance, quick phase tries, which are just magnificent.
Handling error is not up there. 7 by the Wallabies, 1 by the All Blacks. That may be the truest and best stat that sums up the first half. Breakdown, turnovers, Kearnsey, what is it?
4-0, and that's 11 times with those drop balls and turnovers. It's 11 times the Wallabies could have had the ball, but didn't.
So, having said all that, 30 points to 19.
We're in it.
If they can just reduce those errors, maybe increase the physicality a bit. I think getting smashed again at the breakdown. 11 points.
Hey, did you see that last try? First Tamua bust through because he actually went at the defence with a bit more speed than just guys coming trundling around the corner. He went at them, and then the speed of the breakdown. Ball came out, Genia, Cooper, gone. That's the only way you can bust their defence up.
Yeah, Quade Cooper playing very, very well. He's nice and flat, and he's starting to get the momentum on. The guys are just a little bit lazy in their support play. Got to get back deeper running onto the ball.
Gone old school again.
Yeah, it's great to see, I think. It saves time and it's just good for the game.
Well, Ewan said the team was switching off just after half-time, so he's brought that in. Last 4 tests they've played, I think they've been out on the field. Need a quick start here. That's a super finish of the first half.
Be nice to see the All Blacks switch off at half-time. Since 2000, they've won 119 of their 123 matches when leading at half-time, so they get a sniff and they usually go on with it. So important for the Wallabies to score first here. Some description in the second half.
Yeah, we're creating some space, we're creating some holes. All Blacks are killing the ball whenever we do it. That's their usual style. And but the Wallabies doing some good things.
Back to Dunedin in just a moment. would like to find some more early on in the second half. You've both been keeping a close eye on the Wallabies at half-time, out of the corner of your eye. What have you spotted? Any changes?
They had a look at Rob Simmons' ankle. No changes at all. So they're going back out there. You'd have to think Ben Robinson not far away up front.
Yeah, I think there, and we'll probably see Sidaleki Damani, I reckon, within the first 15.
We will know soon enough. Quade Cooper, hasn't that man had a good game so far? Getting set for a start in the second half. We'll take you back to Greg Clark.
So many points in the first half, 30 points to 19. The All Blacks leading most points collectively ever in the first half in a match involving New Zealand versus Australia. Change of direction here for Cruden, and Adamashti Cooper allowed Kurundranti to take it first of all. Now it's Tamua. Oh, and that's a poor pass, but Folau was just covering that. And now the All Blacks pile into the breakdown. Pressure coming up here as Tamua gets the kick away.
You can't put that out in the fullbacks. It was taken back in behind the 22. Israel Dag now.
Here's the young man, his first start, Piatau, getting it out to Kieran Reid. Up over halfway goes the captain, pops it back to Cruden. Piatau. Easy metres for the All Blacks as they look to really ram home their advantage as they go wide now to Nonu. Nonu, Savia, straightens. That's a 22. Cruden, Whitelock.
Wallabies coming off their defensive line quicker now.
Nonu puts the grubber kick through, and Israel Folau has to get back, and he carries it into the in-goal. 5-metre scrum.
5-metre scrum. This is really going to test the Wallaby medal as a Wallaby 8. All Blacks with an attacking 5-metre scrum. There's no question as to what they'll do, but you can see Kieran Reid so good with ball in hand. Just a slight little flick pass there. And Charles Piatau, how good has he been in his run-on debut for the All Blacks? And not Nonu with that little kick through. Israel Folau, not a lot of option there other than to take the ball back over the try line. The Wallabies got to really dig in here because the All Blacks will try and shove them back over their own try line for a pushover try.
Perfect start to the second half for the All Blacks, and the Wallabies staying out on the field during the halftime break because Ewan McKenzie wants to keep them in the moment. Well, it was the All Blacks that came out and they were in the moment.
They just made too many metres off that counter-attack. Easy metres.
Bind. Set.
So Aaron Smith puts it in. The All Blacks are happy to keep it in there. Now Reid gives it to Smith. Cruden allowed to run. Oh, the pass is not a good one. It's been picked up by Piatau. Kurundranti makes the tackle, and then he tries to get the ball back, and it is an advantage being played, and now the penalty, not releasing. Gee, I thought he did release.
Oh, good set-piece play from the All Blacks. Good scrum from the Wallabies. And the All Blacks were forced to go wide. Had two decoy runners, and they're trying to get Israel Dag one-on-one with Peter Beetham. Two decoy players, both centres, Smith and Martin Nonu. And the pass, had it gone to Israel Dag, would have been one-on-one.
And the penalty here is Kurundranti not releasing. I think that's a difficult penalty. I thought Peter Beetham drove through legitimately, and the ball was sitting there waiting for the Wallabies to pick it up. But the All Blacks get the chance to open the second half to extend their lead.
Brodie Retallick just doing the stretching. We see him before too long. Handy replacement to have, the 22-year-old.
The fourth official's got the numbers ready for the change.
So Cruden looking for first points in the second half. No problem from there. 33 points to 19. And the fans, the local fans, are pretty happy. Only the second test match that the All Blacks have played at this venue.
Good game from Jeremy Thrush from the Hurricanes, now leaving the field. Had some crucial restart receives. Another good kick restart from Matt Tamua.
7 from 8 off the boot of Aaron Cruden in this match. 23 test points, so that's a new record for him in a test match.
Folau
goes high and takes it brilliantly. Genia. Now Tamua, Quade Cooper. They rushed up on the outside to shut him down. Now he gives it to Stephen Moore and McKelman.
Numbers to the right if they can shift it. Genia goes that way.
Simmons, Hooper. and then just losing it in contact.
Mialamu.
He runs into the little brick, Kevin Mialamu. Michael Hooper's normally very strong carrying the football, but that man there, 108 test match tonight for the All Black.
He is the oldest on the field, 34 years of age.
Didn't look like 34-year-old here, Clarkie. Look at this. Bang on Michael Hooper.
Just got a hand in under the football, but good contact. The Wallabies are tending to just start to go crabbing across the field, Tim, aren't they, in their carries?
Yeah, they're just getting pushed across field. The All Blacks' defensive pattern is really strong, and when they're struggling, they sit back. When they've got numbers, they move up quickly and try and cut the space you have down. Wallabies are their own worst enemies. They've got control of the ball. They've got momentum in the game, and they're just turning over too much ball at crucial times. They can't get past 6, 7, 8 phases.
And that turnover at that 6th and 7th phase, when you've worked so hard and the physical effort you put into it costs you so much, because you turn around and got to chase 50 or 60 metres back to defend on your own line, with the All Blacks red hot on attack.
All Blacks with that big halftime lead, and gee, they've been pretty good when leading at halftime since 2000. They've won 119 of their past 123 matches.
It's a pretty good stat, isn't it?
The last team to beat them, to come from behind after a halftime deficit, was in fact the Wallabies in Hong Kong 2010.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Smith puts it in. Takes it out. Cruden. Nonu. Folau. Plenty of involvements, and now he goes high for Adam Ashley Cooper to chase. And Cruden takes it, and he's taken immediately, but he gets a pass away to Sevilla. One of the 3 try scorers so far.
All numbers left, 2 slow runners. Nonu goes long.
It sits up nicely for Quade Cooper. He's going to send it down into the 22, and Israel Dag runs across. Not a great angle, and he'll keep it in the field of play. It goes back down to Will Genia. Now Folau. Will he try to counter? Looks up, and there's a wall of black jerseys in front of him. Kane is over the top, but he lays it back, and now there's the kick from Genia, and Piatau has it. Oh, does brilliantly. Stayed on his feet long enough for the troops to arrive. The ball was out, and Kane has it.
Gee, Aaron Smith did well, because James Hall was right on top of him.
High ball, the box kick from Smith. Genia can't control it, picked up. All Blacks need a quick release, and they get it. Nonu, advantage is over. Sevilla shows it on the inside now. It's intercepted by Kurandrani. Is this a game changer? Nonu, Kurandrani. He hasn't got the pace to get away. He pops it up, and it's Tamua. It's Matt Tamua. It's the Wallabies in. They're in for a try. They're second in the match, and it just might give them a little bit of hope.
Just the hope they needed. Tavita Kurandrani read it well, because they were outnumbered, the Wallabies. The All Blacks had 5 players to 3 defensive players for the Wallabies. And Kurandrani saw that. Nonu went wide. Sevilla looked. He was looking to pick up Aaron Cruden. And Tavita Kurandrani, you thought he had the pace of Nonu was coming across. And you watch Matt Tamua on the inside trailing. Good tackle from Ben Smith. And Matt Tamua crosses out wide. Important try for the Wallabies.
Yeah, it just shows how important some turnovers can be. You did think Kurandrani was going to get there on his own, but managed to keep the ball alive. And great support from the Wallabies. And finally, some luck has gone their way with the turnover. We'll give them the belief, and you look at the coaching staff. Jim Mackay, the attacks coach for the back, stands up, clenches his fist. And that man there, he knows he's cost the All Blacks 5 points, possibly 7. And the Wallabies with a chance to believe that they're back in this game, as Benny Robinson comes onto the field for James Slipper.
No, in fact, I think they're calling Ben Alexander off number 3. So Robinson will go to loose head, and Slipper to the tight head side of the scrum, and Cooper 5 from 5 in the first half. 4 penalties and 1 drop goal. And it's not a bad attempt again. It's over. 33 points to 26. And it was 3 penalties and a conversion and a drop goal to Craig Cooper in the first half. So he's still Mr. 100%.
Good support from Matt Tamua. He's been really good at inside centre tonight, Matt Tamua. His combination with Craig Cooper. He's been slotting into first receiver a couple of times. Aaron Cruden going left again.
And it is knocked back. So the All Blacks, wonderful restarts, and now they can apply the pressure and try and reply immediately to that converted try. Cruden, Reid, knocked down by Beetham. Penalty. Deliberate knockdown. Oh, that's what they can do so brilliantly, the All Blacks. They just respond immediately.
Their restarts have been unbelievable. Aaron Cruden, every single restart has given the All Blacks an opportunity to win the ball.
There's a big decision coming up here. They are going to put it into the corner.
Great captaincy there from Kieran Reid. You can see just coming through, Sam Kay getting the ball over the top. And Liam Missam, ever present is he. The All Blacks clean out beautifully. This is a tough call on Peter Beetham. I don't think he did try deliberately to obviously to knock the ball down. He had his hand out looking for the tackle. Tough call, but Kevin Mialamu comes forward to get the football to give the All Blacks a chance from an attacking line out, 5 out. Wallabies defending their own line. This is the moment in the game where the Wallabies need to stand up.
So Mialamu. Oh, Simmons almost stole that one, but it's there.
No, he had it, Rob Simmons, too, didn't he?
Pressure now. Kane, quick hands. Famuina! Almost through. 5 metres out. Stolen, but it is a penalty. Much closer this time. They might have a shot for a guaranteed 3 points.
Aaron Smith wants to go quickly. Now Kieran Reid, the captain, suggests we'll go for 3 points.
Well, that's all they have to do. Just keep the scoreboard ticking over and just stay a little bit in front of the Wallabies, more than a converted try.
The interchange between the tight 5 forwards of the All Blacks tonight and even their whole forward pack, they're 1 to 8. Michael Hooper showing some frustration at the decision. But the exchanges, the short passing between the All Blacks has been superb. It's been a real masterclass just to keep the pressure on the opposition. They're carrying the ball with aggression and vigour and getting over the Wallaby defensive line. But that little offload just in tight, keeping the ball alive, is really keeping the All Blacks well and truly on top in this game.
And Brendan and Tim, what has become very, very obvious again in 2013 is that the restart has become such a major part of Test rugby. And the All Blacks have got it down to a fine art. And Cruden. Oh, he has stabbed that and it's out to the right. So is that a let off? It remains 33-26.
Wow. Aaron Cruden has kicked them from everywhere. He's only missed 1 tonight. That's his 2nd one he's missed. His first kick of the game was a shocker. Michael Hooper talking to Craig Jabeur. He was unlucky, but he was just off his feet as he won that in the tackle.
Tamua sends it down to Soea. Such a strong runner. Up over the halfway he goes. A good carry. Smith thought he spotted a gap. He was taken by Slipper. Dag up from fullback. Out the back to Cruden. Now Reid. And Ben Smith. The try-scoring machine hasn't had many opportunities. And here goes Simmons. Shut down immediately, though, by Woodcock. Tamua to Slipper. Went in high, and he was an easy target. And they turn it over. He didn't make the ground his friend on that occasion. And now, quick hands. Messam pops it out to Mialamu. Severa shut down. But the All Blacks threatening again. Sam Cane.
They're lining up out wide, the All Blacks.
Here's Retallick, the replacement. Oh, it's 4 on 1. Reid! Kieran Reid! They were lining up all right. Pick a number. They picked number 8. And over he goes for for his 4th try in 2013. Top All Black tackler this year, but I tell you what, he can certainly get some run meters as well.
Well, it was a turnover. Farmer-Wiener, look at him, just monstered James Slipper. Double teamed in the tackle. And once again, the Wallabies on attack get turned over. Decoy play. The Wallabies just outnumbered. Kieran Reid, the captain, goes over. It's just the momentum swings in this game from turnovers.
Oh, it does. And that ball handling from the All Blacks has been sensational. That catch pass, ball in front of the man. And that's the end after Kieran Reid has scored the try. Almost got the finger in the eye from Israel Dag. But they are absolutely superb. They probe you on the left and the right. They take you from one side of the field to the other. They then go in close and they'll get you for numbers at some point, because you've got to invest so many numbers in, or defenders in defence, that the All Blacks will find space out wide at some point.
Comes back to, again, another turnover going into the tackle. High, easy prey in midfield. So turnovers 1 from the breakdowns, 5 for New Zealand, none from the Wallabies. And it's now 38 points to 26. They have hit back immediately. And Cruden, this one again is out to the right. So he's left 5 points out there in recent times. And Hugh McKenzie.
I think Hugh McKenzie might want to grab that beer sitting in behind him. It's getting tense towards the end of this second half.
4 tries to 2. Kieran Reid, the try scorer. Not surprisingly, they've wrapped him up. He's re-signed with the New Zealand Rugby Union through until the end of 2017. And again, the Wallabies cannot win the restart. Beetham looks up and sends it long down to Dag. Now he's inside the 22. He's got plenty of support back there with him. And he puts it into touch. A pretty good kick too. It'll be a line out around about halfway. The Bledisloe Cup just there in the backdrop.
Shorter line out for the Wallabies. And then a few more of these. 5-man line out. McCalman midfield with Michael Hooper.
Brendan Cannon, you're pretty close to the Bledisloe. You should just go up and touch it. You touched it in 2001 when you were part of the Wallaby squad.
Brody Retallick.
Yeah, brilliant stuff at the line out for the All Blacks. And now 5 short of halfway. Falmawina.
Thanks. Number.
Playing advantage. Cruden. And eventually Cooper and Sevilla claims him immediately. Nothing happening there.
Offside goal.
Offside. Wallabies. So coming up to 57 minutes gone. 38 plays, 26.
Yeah, Clarkie, I'm only about 2.5 metres away from the Bledisloe, and I have been tempted, but it wouldn't fit inside my blazer pocket. It'd be hard to get out of here. I think there'd be a few Kiwis that wouldn't allow it to leave the country.
Aaron Cruden going for touch, but once again a turnover from the line out this time for the Wallabies. Their 5-man line out. And Brody Retallick getting up in front.
Well, it's the basic principle of rugby. You can see it here. Just Retallick. He's a big man, or just over 2 metres in height. And the Wallabies there just yet with another turnover. You can't build pressure or keep it on the opposition in any way if you keep releasing it as easy as the Wallabies are with their own mistakes. That's the cruelest thing about the Wallaby performance at the moment. They themselves are their own worst enemy.
They've conceded.
Rob Simmons this time turns it.
Good stuff.
Got in front of Kieran Reid. On the All Blacks 5-man line out, Quade Cooper releases pressure from behind his 22.
He wasn't allowed to put it out on the full, so it goes down to Dag and Julian Sevilla, one of the best returners in the game. And he punches it down into the 22. And Folau. Not out. Messam, Dag. There is space on the far side. Reid straightens. He settles on the halfway. So Cruden, Retallick throws the dummy. Kane.
Michael Hooper coming through the middle defensively did well.
It's a maul, so will it come out of there?
Steve
the Wallabies. The Wallabies, I thought for a moment we're going to get their first breakdown, turnover.
Much better defence from the Wallabies out wider. Kurandrani moved up, umbrella defence, and forced the All Blacks back in field.
As Hugh McKenzie starts to ring the changes from his bench, Sayafinganga coming on for Stephen Moore, who has probably been one of the Wallabies' most consistent performers in Test matches this year. Outstanding from the veteran hooker. But Sayafinganga, he'll bring some energy, some vigour with that low tackling, some good ball carries.
Yeah, Stephen Moore, his 86th Test cap, so he's equal 8th on the all-time list now with the great John Eales and Joe Roth. But his night is over.
Really good game for Stephen Moore. A lot of ball carries in the first 40 minutes. Midfield scrum now for the Wallabies. Quade Cooper and Israel Folau just standing behind the scrum. You can see there. Matt Tamura on the left-hand side. Need clean ball.
Bind. Set. Yes, no.
Genia puts it in. The big shove coming from the men in black, but it's there for Genia. Quade Cooper running to the line. Short ball, and there's another turnover.
Right option. Tavita Kurandrani, he knew there was some space there because Quade Cooper dummied the decoy player.
A couple of big changes. Aaron Cruden is coming off, so Bowden Barrett, this very talented 22-year-old fly half, and Kevin Mialamu, whose 108th Test match is over. So Dane Coles is on there. Well done again to Aaron Cruden.
Look at that, 23 points. Aaron Cruden, a Bledisloe Cup match. Still 20 minutes to go in the game.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Yes, 9.
Reed. There's a kick over the top. Barrett having a run.
Backward of Black.
Now Cooper looking for a counter.
Numbers.
Tamua. Kurandrani. Slight fumble again. He straightens. Kurandrani. He's got Peter Beetham. He throws the ball back to Tamua. And good cover from the All Blacks. Beetham almost into touch. It might have come off Aaron Smith. Yes, I think it did. It did. So it's going to be a Wallaby throw into the line out. But wonderful defensive work from the All Blacks as Kurandrani was in the clear again.
Good footwork and vision from Adam Ashley Cooper. Quade Cooper knew there was numbers. Tamura moved it. Left foot step from Kurandrani. That's what we've seen with the Brumbies all this year. He just couldn't find his support. Fanga was inside.
Send him on, thanks.
Matt Tamura came late, and Peter Beetham just throwing the ball back in field.
Change in the front row for the Wallabies. James Slipper is off, and so Sekope Kepu comes on for his 33rd Test cap. Plenty of running metres from Kurandrani. Mixed night for him with his handling.
There's plenty of time left for the Wallabies. 19 minutes left. But they've got to be next to score.
38-26, and McKelman wins it at the front.
Use it once.
Penalty.
Number 5, swimming up the side.
It's against Sam Whitelock. Swimming up the side.
That's a new one from Craig Chabert. Matt Tamura will now go for touch, you would think. The Wallabies need a try, need a 5-pointer.
They also need to be composed here, make sure their execution is spot on at the set piece. Good lift, good jump, very accurate at the line-out time with the throw, and build the pressure. Keep it solid up front as you drive and work them all closer to the All Black try line.
Adam Ashley Cooper's in the line-out at the front.
They find McKelman again. 5 metres out.
That was a 12-man line-out from the Wallabies.
There's only Quade Cooper and Folau, and right over on the far side, Peter Beetham in the back line. But the forwards try to rumble. And being told to use it. They continue to drive, and they didn't use it.
That's a tough call. That's a tough call from Craig Chabert. He's had a really good game. Will Guinea will be spoken to, and also
he stopped and moved parallel to the touchline, and so I calls use it now.
I can't see where this stopped.
Well, the hardest thing here is, as he says, use it now, it starts to gain some more momentum and works harder and closer towards the All Black try line. So right about now, he says the call, use it now. It was stationary just for ever such a moment there. A really, really tough call from Craig Joubert.
But it's going forward, Cano. It hasn't stopped there, and he's let it go forward.
Well, Joubert is saying it was heading towards the touchline, not the try line. And Alexander throws the ball down in disgust, but he's the man in control, Craig Joubert.
He's had a good game, Craig Joubert, but that one there, I don't know.
Beauden Barrett.
You've got to favour the attacking team.
That man on camera, Beauden Barrett, he was outstanding in that recent test for the All Blacks against the Springboks. Really turned the game with that try in the second half. Wallabies will look to try and put some pressure on the All Black scrum. Move it around, disrupt the transfer of the ball at the back.
17 minutes remaining. Reset time.
Let's go in a little bit, please.
Interesting to note, it's an all-new Wallaby front row. It's about to be an all-new All Black front row, as Woodcock and Fuamama are still on the field. Dane Cole, the only change there.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, straight down on Sekope Kepu's side. Ben Robinson, also Sayafinga.
Listen to me, they've been pretty good till you got here. Head and shoulders up on engagement, please.
This is really from a game perspective. There's been 2 collapses. Unless there's a clean strike and a transfer of possession here, if it does collapse again, there's got to be a penalty. You've got to get away from allowing the scrum to maintain minutes and minutes and minutes on the football field here in a static position.
Bind. Set. Yes, line.
So Smith puts it in, and Reid takes it out, gives it to Nonu. Crash ball. Quade Cooper holds on. Now the box kick from Aaron Smith, not his best kick.
That's a good result for the Wallabies. Good defence, Quade Cooper. He got knocked early and held on to Ma'a Nonu. Good effort in the front line defensively from Quade Cooper. Now Sidleki Tamani
is on for the captain, James Horwell.
Look at that hit from Ma'a Nonu. Bang on Quade Cooper, but he came straight back. Went around the legs for Ma'a Nonu and put him straight to ground.
Come on.
So Will Genia will now be captain of the Wallabies. Sidleki Tamani on in the second row.
Will Genia at his 50th test, the third most capped number 9 for the Wallabies, behind George Greig at 139 tests and Nick Farr-Jones 63. And it's been won again by Simmons, down to Cooper, flat ball, and Beetham. Advantages being played.
Ben McCalman did well, crossed the advantage line.
Tamua taken by Dane Coles. Now Genia, the new man, Sidleki Tamani. We've seen a lot of running from Genia. Will he have a snipe? But this time they go wide. And Kurandrani, advantage is over. Here's Quade Cooper. Pops it back to Genia. Ran into his own man, but it's play on. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, it didn't affect any defender.
It's one of those laws in rugby that absolutely is a coach killer.
I don't mind it if you run into your own man and it impedes a defender. Didn't see on first look that it impeded any All Black defender. Kurandrani off his right foot. Quade Cooper did well in support.
What also doesn't help is when your own teammate puts his hands in the air and draws attention to himself.
I think the second time around when Liam Messon was trying to get Will Genia.
38-26. 14 minutes remaining.
Bind. Set. Yes, line.
Big shove from the All Blacks, but the Wallabies for the moment holding their ground, and back it goes to Barrett. It's not out. Adam Ashley Cooper across to Israel Folau, and now Peter Beetham. And Beetham looks to get on the outside, gets the Fenn going, but they hold on to him. Good tackle by Piatau. He hasn't done anything wrong so far in his first start in a test match. Now for Anga. 10-metre mark. Genia. Tamua. Tamani.
Well taken, Kieran Reid.
Hooper.
They're a little bit bunched at the moment, the Wallabies.
Penalty. Holding on again. Wallabies. Not dominant at the breakdown.
Brody Retallick that time. In on the ball.
And so that's what you look for your reserves to come on and make an impact in the game. You can just see there the Wallabies just lacking that detail at the breakdown. No accuracy, not enough numbers. Retallick hard on the football, getting the turnover for the All Blacks.
Well, they just lost their way a little bit, Cano, because when Sidleki Tamani went to the right, they needed to keep going same way. And then they ended up coming back to the left with Michael Hooper.
Well, they have, and the All Black minibus of reserves has arrived with the whole new front row being completed. And Aaron Smith coming off at number 9. He's been wonderful tonight again for the All Blacks. And Kerr Barlow coming on again. He's a feisty little character from Waikato.
Aaron Smith, he's been in the find of the year, Clarkie, hasn't he, in the Test series? Right throughout 2013.
And you've got to say that while he is a fantastic rugby player, he does play behind a very, very talented pack of forwards.
That's forgotten, isn't it?
They lay it on it. They lay it on a plate for him.
They do. He gets caviar every day.
Ben Coles to throw the ball in. 5-man line out. Runners midfield in behind Ma'a Nonu.
The Coles, and it goes over the back, and a slight fumble, but he manages to hold on. Reid, Kabalo, Barrett, Nonu coming around. The back is Piatau. Foley is on for the Wallabies as well. That's Bernard Foley, try on debut, and Rosario. Third Wallaby this year to score a try on debut.
Yeah, Bernard Foley playing at fullback. Israel Folau move to the left wing.
So here's Barrett. Banga had to hold on and make the tackle. That's the 22. Kabalo, and it's advantage. And it's right in front, and that is a gift. 3 points to the All Blacks.
You can't make a tackle from the ground. Yeah.
Sayef Anga was already on the ground. That was discipline that was required there from Sayef Anga. Made a good hit on Beauden Barrett.
Not now, Ben.
Ben Mowen is actually asking the question of the referee, so maybe he has taken over the captaincy.
Beauden Barrett running straight across the advantage line. See Sayef Anga makes the tackle. On second look, Cano, that looked okay, but no, there he is there down on one knee.
No, he hadn't cleared himself out of the ruck. He was still coming out the All Blacks side. The ball pops out, and he makes the tackle. Disappointment, obviously, for him, because it gives the All Blacks that chance to continue to build on this lead. But just ill discipline and turnovers have really, really hurt the Wallabies here again tonight.
Barrett. A simple 3 points for him, his first points in the Test match. So they're into the 40s. It's 41 points to 26.
Charlie found the winner on the bench. All 130 kgs of him. He's been brilliant. Caused a couple of turnovers for the Wallabies in defence.
Brilliant. Kieran Reid, awkward landing. But he had his eyes for the ball, and now Barrett trying to step his way through. Taken by Genia, Kabalo, Nonu being solid in midfield again. Didn't perform all that well at this ground for the Highlanders in Super Rugby, but once he gets the black jersey on, Nonu, it's a different story.
Yeah, ball's available.
Messam was at scrum half. Barrett, Dag, Reid, quick hands, but this time Coles puts it down. They have to counter now. Now or never. Everything to gain, nothing to lose for the Wallabies. There's the kick through, and Kurandrani can't control it. Picked up by Piatau. Franks. Centre of the paddock.
Will Kubalo choose correctly?
Pietau. Now Ben Smith as the crowd roars. He's a Dunedin favourite. Ben Smith linking up. Messam needs support. Goes to ground 5 metres out. They've got 1,000 players out to the left and they cannot get it out there. Holding on is the call, and so
Adam Ashley Cooper did well. The tackle from Quade Cooper. But the All Blacks are just brilliant in attack. Ben Smith, usually a winger at outside centre, with Conrad Smith taking 6 months off. The space that they can create. Ben Smith straight through. Liam Messam, you thought was under the post. Went infield, had Quade Cooper to beat. And Adam Ashley Cooper got over the ball.
yes, they were lining up, queuing up out wide, the All Blacks, but they just couldn't clear it. And so Saya for Anger. 4-man line out. 15 points the difference. It's slapped out. Anger is there to Genia, and now it's Hooper. He hands it off to Dave Dennis. 16th test for Dave Dennis. All 15 previous test matches were played last year. Penalty to the Wallabies, so this will give them a chance to get inside the All Blacks territory.
He did well to hold that, Dave Dennis, a short ball.
He did, and Sam Cane doing what every All Black number 7 jersey has done against the Wallabies. He's been a pest at the breakdown. Craig Joubert called it early, 7 off your feet, and he continued to play the ball and get the steal. But good carry here from Dave Dennis. Look at Sam Cane. It's a pretty tough decision on him, but he was off his feet initially as Craig Joubert called the ball.
Yeah, he wasn't supporting his body weight in that first go at the ball.
Well, the Wallabies have to score 3 times, and Messam has been replaced. So on there is a very fresh Stephen Luatua, who will look to create some havoc.
And so Ben Smith leaving, Tom Taylor coming on in number 23. Genia wide to Cooper.
Inside ball for Lau. Brilliant tackle from, I think it was the 23, Taylor. So the Wallabies, they just need to finish strongly. Another penalty. Playing for a bit of pride. They've got a tough Northern Hemisphere tour on the way.
Sam Cane again, penalised.
So it's 2 in short succession against 7. If the trend continues, he goes to the bin. No clear release. Yeah.
Must be something when you put that jersey on that you just become a pest at the breakdown.
He's only 21, Sam Cane.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant game tonight. He's been an outstanding talent, and that's a great attacking opportunity for the Wallabies. Good kick, almost looked like it had gone out in goal. But on the 5-metre line, Safe Young gets their line-out throw for the Wallabies. Have to score here to give themselves a chance, the Wallabies.
Sidleki Tamani at the back, Simmons at the front.
Cooper out the back, Adam Ashley Cooper. 3 or 4 metres out, he lays it back. Quade Cooper over the top and beats everybody. It went forward anyway.
Oh, the try might have been on Adam Ashley Cooper. If he just could have given it in the first play, this first set-piece play. He had numbers outside. There was a lot of pressure on him there.
Trying to link up with Folau. It was forward.
He just had Matt Tamua on his outside shoulder. Adam Ashley Cooper and Quade Cooper pushing the pass, just going across the field. Need a direct and straight runner. It's really only his first mistake tonight, Quade Cooper.
So the All Blacks with the put into the scrum, looking to win their 30th test match on home soil, which will equal their wonderful record from 2003 to 2008.
Well, it's been a while, Clarkie. 2001 was the last time the Wallabies won down here in Dunedin. As Hugh McKenzie, the coach, looks on, and Brendan Cannon and I had a little drive out to Carisbrook this morning, and there's not much left of it. It's been demolished, and Cano was trying to pick up a little bit of a souvenir to take home. I'm sure we'll alert customs.
The last team to beat the All Blacks in New Zealand was South Africa, 2009. And this long drought for the Wallabies continues.
Shoulders off, shoulders up.
Not a great kick into touch from Kerbalo. But with 4.5 minutes remaining, the gap is 15. Too many mistakes again by the Wallabies. 20 turnovers conceded. Handling errors 10.
Ben Mowen in the back.
Can they have the final say? Wade Cooper goes high for the far corner. And getting there is Folau. Folau, plenty of black jumpers though. He lays it back. Genia. Kurandrani slams it down. I think they might check upstairs. He's pretty confident. Tavita Kurandrani thinks he scored his first test try.
He's been pretty good tonight, Tavita Kurandrani. Just a couple of little handling errors, but he's made a lot of space out wide at 13. New McKenzie might just have him in that 13 jersey for a while. Tavita Kurandrani off the right foot, goes to slam it down.
No problem. That'll be a try.
Thanks.
First test try, Tavita Kurandrani, the 22-year-old. So it is 41-31. 3 tries against the All Blacks. They didn't score too many tries against them in the first 2 matches in this Bledisloe Cup series. So a few positives to come out of it. 7 tries against the Pumas, 3 against the All Blacks. Still time for more.
Quade Cooper to continue his perfect record tonight. 2 conversions, 3 penalty goals and 1 field goal.
Oh, it's a beauty. He has it on a string at Forsyth Bar under the roof in Dunedin. So it's 41-33. Some respectability in that scoreline, if you like.
Israel Folau did well. He had so many All Black defenders in front of him. Then Will Guinea got to the breakdown really quickly and saw there was numbers. And Kurandrani running straight and direct. Restart from the All Blacks.
And the Wallabies were able to claim that one. Dave Dennis hands it off now to Genia. Tamur at first receiver, Foley. Kurandrani out wide. Nonu, good tackle.
Backward.
Went backwards and Foley, nowhere to go.
Well out, Black. Through the middle.
Oh, coming through the middle.
Now it's a new ruck.
It's a new ruck. And it's there for Genia. Now Fahinga. Quade Cooper. First start against the All Blacks in 2013 for Cooper. Had a good night. Tamani, the Wallabies. Can they finish with another try just to give them a little more confidence as they head to the Northern Hemisphere? England waiting in 2 weeks at Twickenham. The All Blacks will head to Japan, and our thoughts are with Eddie Jones, the former Wallabies coach and the head coach of Japan, now suffered a stroke during the week. Get well soon, Eddie. Scott Wisemantle, another Aussie, will take control of the Brave Blossoms, as they're known, the Japanese team, in that historic match against the All Blacks in a fortnight. And that will be live on Fox Sports.
Folau.
And now Folau. Israel Folau. Kepu. Kepu up over halfway. The front rower gets the fend going. Kepu pops it up to nobody. The bounce is good, though, for Reed. And Quade Cooper gets his hand on it, but it's there for the All Blacks. And gee, that was a great run by Kepu and good work by Tamani. And now just putting it into the Australian territory is Tom Taylor, and it bounces into touch, and so they diffuse that effort, but well done to Kepu.
Oh, Kepu, outstanding. For a big man, he showed a clean pair of heels and a wonderful fend, but this man, Izzy Folau, he's looked really comfortable tonight. Quick throw from the Wallabies.
They go out wide, and Quade Cooper pops it out the back door somehow, picked up by Kurandrani.
They're still full of running, the Wallabies. Matt Tamua pick and drive. Usually when you score 33 points against the All Blacks, most times you think you'd win the game.
Oh, and there's the inside ball from Adam Ashley Cooper. It was a 50-50 pass that didn't go to the right man, and now Kane has it. So the All Blacks will just count down the seconds now, or will they? Will they put it through their hands? Franks needed to offload there, but he takes the tackle. Siren sounds, and now it's Israel Dag. Dag gives it to Tom Taylor. Taylor pops it out to Dag. It went forward. It went forward, so the Wallabies now inside their own half. Foley across to Quade Cooper. Wide ball to Mua. Tamua taking them on. Good solid tackle again from Anonu. Kurandrani, he hasn't stopped trying.
I'd like to look at Matt Tamura at inside centre tonight. He's allowed Quade Cooper to run the ball.
So Cooper gives it now to Foley. Foley goes wide to Israel Folau. 7 tries in the season, and he bounces out of 1. And Israel Folau kicks on the inside. Is this going to be a good bounce? It was almost for Foley. He knocks it on, and so it is Julian Savea who's going to have a run. Savea, oh, he got rid of Ben Robinson, a front rower. As the crowd roars, Kubalo. They don't want it to end. Coles.
There's no fullback for the Wallabies at the moment.
Nobody at the back, and it's smother time there from Tamani. They win it, and now it's still alive. And Hooper gives it to Robinson. Ben Moen into contact solidly. They're almost out on their feet, but they want it to continue. Now Quade Cooper dancing around. Gives it to Foley. Foley over the 10-metre mark. Oh, it's been stolen now by Brodie Retallick. And they need to put it through the hands. Not a great pass for Franks. He dives on it. Kurandrani's over there. Nearly 2 minutes since the hooter.
Another turnover. Wallabies back.
Oh, incredible. No, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on. It's all over. 3-zip. Clean sweep for the New Zealand All Blacks, the #1 team in the world rankings. They led by 30-19 at the break. And full time at Forsyth Bar in Dunedin. New Zealand 41, Australia 33. Let's head back to Nick McArdle.
Thank you very much, Greg Clark.